Governor Brown is now considering letting inmates out early in an effort to limit the spread of COVID-19 within the state's prison system. KZI 9 News reporter Kennedy Dendy joins us live in the studio. And Kennedy, you actually spoke to a few people with loved ones serving time in prison. What did they tell you?
That's right, Jillian. They shared with me the emotions they're feeling, knowing someone they love is at such high risk for catching the virus. Governor Brown is asking for a list of inmates eligible for an early release by June 22nd. But this is all on a case-by-case basis.
It's always been what I've been advocating for was to have an early release for men, and this was back 2 months ago.
For Kaylin, her loved one is currently in the Shutter Creek Correctional Institution, a minimum security prison.
People are viewing this as just releasing a bunch of harmful criminals, but it's not.
This request by Governor Brown was not always the case. She initially refused any type of release in response to the pandemic, but now that will change after she sent a letter to the Department of Corrections on Friday. But an inmate still must meet the necessary criteria.
Although I support her decision, which I've always advocated for, I feel like it's a little late because inmates have died.
And here's what that criteria looks like. They must be vulnerable to COVID-19. The sentence cannot be for a crime against a person. At least 50% of their sentence must be served. They must have a record of good conduct for the last 12 months. And a few other areas must be met, such as having a housing plan in place.
That's kind of what I'm advocating for, is to remember that they do still have rights. Not every person that is in there is a criminal the way that we view it on the outside.
More than 100 inmates have been confirmed by the Oregon State Penitentiary in Salem. According to the state, as of June 11th, 174 inmates tested positive for COVID-19, and one person died. Now, I did speak with another individual with a loved one currently incarcerated. Hear what she has to say about the reform that needs to be made in the 6 o'clock hour. Live in the studio, Kennedy Dendy, KZI 9 News.